Today, I'm going to be sharing my 25 books in 2025 challenge.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Be all else, but not to me. Say that thou art.
I did this last year. It was 24 books in 2024, and I did read all of them. They were all off my shelf, and it was so satisfying. Every time I read one I didn't really care for, I got off my shelf and either like gave it to a little free library, and then I brought a couple more home too from the little free libraries. I love those. So I have an extra bonus 10, I think. This challenge is I'm going through Lemony Reads and books with no pictures on Instagram. So if you're interested in checking them out, I will try and link their channel, their bookstagrams down below. So let's get started. The very first book that I have here is, let me just fix the angle really quick. We're learning, okay? All right, the very first book I have here is The House Girl by Tara Conklin, and I'm not sure I'm gonna like this one. I found this in a little free library as well. It says, Lena Sparrow is an ambitious young lawyer working on a historic class action suit seeking reparations for the descendants of American slaves. Josephine is a 17-year-old house slave who tends the Mr. Virginia tobacco farm, an aspiring artist named Luann Bell. Alternating between antebellum Virginia and modern-day New York, The House Girl is a searing tale of art, history, love, and secrets that intertwines the stories of two remarkable women. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I don't mind the reading about this, like slave times. I'm just not the big dual timeline can be kind of weird for me. Usually I like the historical better than I like the modern day timeline, and that seems to be very prevalent for me. So I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but we'll see. So that's book number 1. This one I'm really looking forward to. It's called Love on a Dime by Carolyn James. I've had this book for a really long time. I got it at a library sale, and it just looks so fun. And I'm pretty sure it's set in the Gilded Age, and I love that time period. It is one of my favorites. And this girl, she just looks spunky, doesn't she? I think she does. This is set in Rhode Island, a place of shimmering waves, sleek yachts, and ladies of leisure. And it's not a place for lady novelists. By the way, I barely ever read the back of books, so this is very weird for me. So we'll see if I continue doing this or not, because I feel like it almost spoils things sometimes. So anyway, no one in Lily's social set knows she pens fiction under the nom de plume Fanny Cole, not her family or the wealthy young man about to propose to her, and especially not Jackson Grail, the long-lost beau who just bought her publishing company and who stirs her heart more than she cares to admit. It sounds very cute. I have so much romance in this stack, so much. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. I'm gonna say this is like a 5-star prediction because it just looks so cute. So number 2, third book, Wonderland Creek by Lynn Austin. I read a lot of Lynn Austin last year, and she is pretty much an average rating of her books for me is like 4.5. I literally just finished a book by her called Long Way Home, and I rated it 4.5 stars. I had read A Proper Pursuit by her in December, rated it 5 stars, and I read multiple other books too. Funny story about these Lynn Austin books that I own. A friend of mine, she had roommates that would just leave books behind. Who does that? Anyway, and she doesn't really read, especially romance. So she just gave them to me, and I'm serious, it was a huge stack, and there were so many Lynn Austin books. It was crazy. So anyway, I'll read you what this one is about. Alice Grace Ripley lives in a dream world, her nose stuck in a book, but the happily ever after life she's planned on suddenly falls apart when her boyfriend breaks up with her, accusing her of living in a world of fiction instead of the real one. To top it off, Alice loses her beloved library job because of cutbacks due to the Great Depression. So, historical fiction, libraries, sounds like a dumb guy. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this one. Also, I forgot to mention, I got my sister to pick out all of these books off of my shelf this year. I like to get other people to do it for me. It's more fun that way, you know? So, number 4, White Christmas Brides. This is a novella collection, and it's by Diana Lazier Brandmeier, Susan Page Davis, Paige Hillman, Michelle Yule. I've never heard of any of these authors before, but I'm not going to read the synopsis for this. It's all romance, obviously. So, but this would be something nice to read in December, I think. Alright, so these next two, I got these at a library sale, and they are the Bride Ships series by Jody Hedlund. I have books 2 and 3 on this list, because when you go to a library sale, it is very rare when you find book number 1. And I saw these 2, and they're in perfect condition, and I was like, okay, I have to get these. And I'm sorry, I didn't get them from a library sale. I found them at a thrift store. Anyway, but still, my point about series number 1s is still valid, because it's so rare to find book number 1 when there's a series. Anyway, so I know nothing about this series. I have enjoyed Jody Hedlund in the past. I also I put books 2 and 3 on here, so book number 1 is not on this list. So I have to read that one before I can read these 2, obviously. So that'll be fun. I know nothing about it. I'm not going to go in search of it. I do like to be surprised, and I feel like reading the backs of these would probably spoil it for me. So anyway, these are called, book number 2 is called The Runaway Bride, and then book number 3 is called A Bride of Convenience. And I love Marriage of Convenience. That's all I need to know. Alright, another Lynn Austin book, The Waters Roar. And this one says, so went the words of Grandma Vivi. And for all of my growing up years, I scoffed at the beauty of my sister and what I saw as her meaningless existence. But my wits hadn't served me well in this instance, for here I was in jail. Well, that sounds very interesting, and like I said, I really enjoy Lynn Austin, so we will see what this one is about too. Alright, these I'm very excited for. I have had these on my shelf for, I literally cannot remember how long. I got these from a friend of my mom. She got rid of a ton of books, and I was a teenager still, okay? I haven't been a teenager for literally 10 years. Anyway, so this is another instance of where I don't have all 3 of the books. This is a series of 3. I only have 2. So The Lightkeeper's Daughter by Colleen Coble and The Lightkeeper's Ball. There is another book in this series. I don't remember what it's called. But these covers are beautiful. I especially love this one. And I am very much looking forward to this. I like lighthouses. Yeah. Oh, look, it's right back here. The third one, I believe it's the third one, is called The Lightkeeper's Bride, and it looks so haunting. I'll pop it up on the screen if I can figure out how. So yeah, I'm looking forward to these very much. I can't even tell you how long I've had these on my shelf. So, looking forward to these. Alright, the next one I've had on my shelf, I believe I found this either in a Little Free Library or I got it from a library sale. And it's called Halos by Kristen Heitzman. I have read Kristen Heitzman before, only one book, and I didn't care for it. So I'm hoping that this one I will like. The halo she glimpsed around the sun was the first sign that this might be it, the place she was searching for. Filled with hope and promise, Alessia Moore pulls into Charity amidst her first real snowfall. Enraptured by the pure, serene beauty of the little town, she just knows something good is coming. But her almost heavenly impression is quickly dashed by an unforeseen loss. Left with nothing but the clothes on her back, Alessia is cast into the care of a reluctant party, yet in a place where nothing could be wrong, darkness sometimes lurks. And this sounds like a really good winter read, and I really love the cover, and I am really looking forward to this one. Actually, I've had this on my shelf for a little while, and it just looks so good. So we'll see what I think about this one. And next one, I found this in a Little Free Library, and it is literally in perfect condition, and I'm very excited for this one too. The Thief of Corinth by Tessa Afshar. I read my first Tessa Afshar book back in 2023, The Pearl in the Sand. Oh my goodness, so good, wonderful, love it. I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. It is about, I have no idea how to say this name. It's also, first century Corinth is a city teeming with commerce and charm. It's also filled with danger and corruption, the perfect setting for Ariadne's greatest adventure. I don't know how to say that. I'll look it up later. After years spent living with her mother and oppressive grandfather in Athens, Ariadne runs away to her father's home in Corinth, only to discover the perilous secret that destroyed his marriage. Though a Greek of high birth, Galenos is the infamous thief who has been robbing the city's corrupt of their ill-gotten gains. Desperate to keep him safe, Ariadne risks her good name, her freedom, and the love of the man she adores to become her father's apprentice. As her unusual athletic ability leads her into dangerous exploits, Ariadne discovers that she secretly revels in playing with fire. But when the wrong person discovers her secret, Ariadne and her father find their future and very lives hanging in the balance. When they befriend a Jewish rabbi named Paul, they realize that his radical message challenges everything they fought to build, yet offers something neither dared hope for. This sounds really good. I do enjoy biblical fiction if it's done really well, and Tessa Afshar has already proved to me that she can do that, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. The next one is another Kristen Heitzman. I read the Modern series, just the first one that comes after this series, and I did not enjoy it. And I think I rated it 1 or 2 stars. And this is actually book 3, like I said, book 3. So I don't know what the first 2 are, but this is historical fiction. Maybe I'll like it a little bit better. I always find contemporary a little bit harder to get into sometimes, but I'm not going to read the synopsis. I'll pop the first 2 up on the screen here if I can, and we'll see what I think of this one. I'm really hoping I like her, because at some point you just have to give an author a second chance, but then they run out of chances. So we'll see. Yeah, I would like to say that I enjoyed one first. So we'll see what I think of this one. And it's book 3, so I have to read the first 2 in the series first. And they're not on this list. I don't know what. What am I thinking? Anyway, all right. Excuse me. All right, the next one. This cover is very cute. I've had this one. I think I got this from a library sale as well. Prize of My Heart by Lisa Naredo, I think is how you say her name. This is not part of a series. It's a standalone book, I believe. 3 years ago, Captain Brogan Talvis, Brogan, that's an interesting name, late wife abandoned their son, leaving no clue as to the boy's whereabouts. After searching relentlessly, Brogan discovers his son was adopted by a New England shipbuilder, and the man's daughter, Lorena Huntley, acts as loving guardian to the child. Oh, that sounds very interesting. This is set in 1815, so we'll see what I think about this one. It looks really good. Alright, we're halfway through the stack. This is A Love Finds You book in Annapolis, Maryland by Rosanna M. White, and I have not read her at all before. So I have heard so many good things about her writing, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. This is set in 1783. I have a lot of things that have to do with ships in this list, apparently, and water. In 1783, peace has been declared, but war still rages in the heart of Lark Benton. Never did Lark think she'd want to escape Emerson Fielding, the man she's loved her all her life. But when he betrays her, she flees to Annapolis, Maryland, the country's capital, where Lark throws herself into a new circle of friends who force her to examine all she believes. Emerson follows, determined to reclaim his betrothed, surprised when she refuses to return with him. He realizes that in this new nation he has come to call his own, duty is no longer enough. He must learn to open his heart and soul to something greater before he loses all he should have been fighting to hold. So it sounds good. Like I said, I have a lot of romance on this stack this time, so we'll see. I am looking forward to this one though. Alright, I just got this one out of a Little Free Library. It's called The Jewel of Gresham Green by Luana Blackwell, and the cover is so beautiful. Will this quaint village be the safe haven her heart craves? To protect her precious daughter from the danger nipping at their heels, Jewel Libby must flee the only home she's ever known. Caring friends direct her to the vicarage in the peaceful dairy village of Gresham, but she arrives there to find Vicar Andrew Phelps and his wife immersed in troubles of their own. Their son Philip, a successful London surgeon, has a controlling wife who resents his close family ties, and daughter Aleda lives in a cottage on the outskirts of Gresham, where she adamantly pursues her writing career in her solitude, often to the exclusion of others. When Andrew becomes ill and in need of his son's skills, and Aleda's quest for privacy unwittingly advances an evil man's schemes, Jewel finds the tables turned, and she is the one offering support and a source of strength. But an unlikely romance is about to change everything. So this sounds pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I really was drawn to the cover though when I found this in the Little Free Library. I always love when I find stuff in there. So anyway, looking forward to this one. Now, excuse me, I need to take a drink. I thought my mug of tea was right up there and it wasn't. Oops. And we're good to go again. Alright, next book. Glittering Promises by Lisa T. Berggren. I've heard her around so much. I've had this one on my shelf for a little while. It's pretty thick too, so I don't know anything about this one. For Cora Kensington, the grand tour was to be the trip of a lifetime. She discovered the family she never knew she had, and may even have found the love she longs for and will. Yet her life has just become infinitely more challenging. Hounded by the stubborn pursuit of Pierre de Richelieu and journalists chasing the beguiling story of the newest American heiress, Cora fights to remain true to her past, reconcile her present, and still embrace her future. But as Will struggles with her newfound wealth, Cora begins to wonder if their love is strong enough to withstand all that threatens to pull them apart. As she glimpses the end of the tour, Cora knows it's time to decide who and what defines her and who and what does not. So, this sounds interesting. We will see. And it's got, I think that's, pretty sure that's part of the Coliseum, right? I don't know. So, we'll see what this is like. I really like her outfit though. So, looking forward to this one too. Alright, this one is another one of those. There's 3 books here, and I'm pretty sure that I think I got these from my mom's friend, and I think there's 5 books in the series, and I have 3 on the shelf. I haven't read any of them. 3 books on this list. So first of all, this is based on a series as well that was written by Jeanette Oak and T. Davis Barn, I believe. And I did read that a couple years ago. The Heirs of Acadia. And that was a really good series. I really enjoyed that. It was so heartbreaking in some areas, but I really enjoyed it. This first one is called The Innocent Libertine. I'm not going to read the synopsis for these because some of these aren't even, I don't even remember which one is the first book. The Noble Fugitive and Falconer's Quest. So, and I'm pretty sure these are all like, there's at least two other books in between these, and they're not even like I don't even remember the numbers of these. So I'm not gonna read the synopsis, but I am looking forward to that series. I've had it for so long, and yeah, why can't I have the whole series anyway? But besides the point, this is a series actually that I do have all of them. And I found these at a library sale, and I love Tracy Peterson. I have not read Judith Miller yet, but I am very much looking forward to this one. This is called the Broadmoor Legacy series, and this one is called A Daughter's Inheritance, An Unexpected Love, and A Surrendered Heart. And the covers are so beautiful. I love their dresses. We'll read the synopsis for this one. A Daughter's Inheritance. Lose yourself in the history, opulence, and elegance of the Thousand Islands. Cousins Amanda, Sophie, and Fanny Broadmoor are as close as sisters, but when their grandfather dies, the terms of his will just might destroy their bond. 17-year-old Fanny has never put much stock in the conventions of society. In fact, she has given her heart to Michael, the family boat keeper. Another book with boats. What's the deal? But when she receives a surprising inheritance, she discovers just how oppressive a society can be, and that she may be trusting the wrong people. Dare she follow her heart and risk going against her family? What if she loses everything she's known? It all comes down to one choice. What does Fanny Broadmoor want her legacy to be? It sounds good. The covers are beautiful. What more can we want, you know? Alright, this one I believe is a YA. And I think I got this out of a Little Free Library too. I know nothing about this book. I'm a little scared because sometimes YA can be like a little iffy, you know. It's called Love and Other Foreign Words, and it's by Erin McCann. And it says, can anyone be truly herself or truly in love in a language that's not her own? Josie lives her life in translation. She speaks high school, college, friends, boyfriends, breakups, and even the language of beautiful girls, but none of these is her native tongue. And love, the most foreign language of all. So when being fluent in true love becomes the only way to avert a sure catastrophe, Josie is forced to examine her feelings for the boy who says he loves her, the sister she loves but doesn't always like, and the best friend who hasn't said a word, at least not in a language Josie understands. So it sounds intriguing. I am looking forward to this. If I don't like it, I can always get rid of it. And I got it for free. So, we'll see. Now, this is my 25th book. Okay? I read this one when I was a kid. And I am in a book reviews for Christian Families book on Facebook. And some of the women in there were saying that they would not recommend this book to be read. And I need to reread it now because I remember so much enjoying it. It was so imaginative, if I remember, and there were just some problems they had with it. The kids were kind of bratty, and I think I do remember that they didn't really have a lot of respect for their dad. But it's time to reread this. It's called The Penderwicks by Jeanne Birdsall, and I loved this book when I was younger. I just remember this one scene where they go into the attic and they go through all these trunks full of old clothes, and I was like, in my mind, that was like peak just imagination time. I love dressing up when I was younger. I still love dressing up. And I really am just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to rereading this. I'm going to be so sad if it's not the way that I remember it, though. So, I'm a little intimidated by that. But I guess we'll see. I love this book. I remember wanting to, like, give it a hug. So, if it's not good, I'm going to be so sad. Anyway, so, alright, that is the last book of my 25 books in 2025. Editing Hannah here. I've only shared with you 24 books because I took this guy off of it already because I needed it for red on the cover. So this is my 25th book. So I lied to you before. This is about it's called the Jane Austen Book Club, and it's by Karen Joy Fowler. I looked up the reviews on Goodreads to see what the rating was. This book doesn't even hardly have 4 stars, so I'm a little bit worried about this one. So, we'll see if I like this one. I don't know. We might. But a lot of reviews said it was boring. That's not good. So, we'll see. Now, they have another, it's like bonus books, 10 bonus books that you can do. So I did pick those out, and they had different prompts to go with them. And I'm not going to say the prompts, I'm just going to say the books that I picked out. This one is called Zach's Lie by Roland Smith. I've had this book on my shelf for so long, and I believe it's middle grade, and it seems thriller, and that was the prompt for this one. Thriller. And I'm very curious about it. I don't usually pick up middle grade, so I'm intrigued, but we'll see if I get to this one. Another little free library find. My Sister Dilly by Maureen Lang. I've never heard of this author before. The cover kind of intrigued me, and it is published by Tyndale Fiction. So, 2 sisters, one committed the unthinkable, one will never forgive herself. Hannah Williams couldn't get out of her rural hometown fast enough, preferring the faster pace, trendy lifestyle and beauty of California's Pacific coast. Only when her younger sister Dilly makes a desperate choice does Hannah realize she never should have left her behind. Hannah returns home, anxious to atone for failing Dilly in the past, leaving the one man she's ever loved in California. But Dilly is a changed woman, and when Hannah's plans don't go as expected, the bonds of sisterhood are tested like never before. It sounds good. I chose this one for, I believe, literary fiction, and it seemed like it would fit. And we will see if I enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to it, though. Alright, next one, I believe, was a romance. A romance. Just like me is another romance. Anyway, this one is called Love Finds You in North Pole, Alaska. And I did have another Love Finds You in this 25 books in 2025 as well. So, this one, a former Marine is no match for the spunky Sam Sinclair. Bryce Stone has returned to his hometown of North Pole, Alaska, and the self-admitted Scrooge is not very happy about living in a town where the spirit of Christmas lives year-round. That sounds really cute. It sounds like a Hallmark movie in a book, and sometimes you just need that. You know, you just need that sometimes. I can't read them all the time, but I do need them sometimes, you know? So, the cover is cute. This, I don't remember what these are called. When people like recommend books, Charlene McLaren, I've never heard of her, but she says, guaranteed to entertain, spicy and fun, heart-rending and inspiring story. What does spicy mean in this context? Because I'm pretty sure that these were clean. So hopefully it is clean. I don't know if it is or not. I thought it was. I thought this Love Finds You was clean. Anyway, also, do you see this sticker right here? That makes me so sad. So I'm gonna have to try and take that off. Unless I don't like this book, then I don't care. So, you know. Anyway. Alright. Next book. I believe I found this one in a little free library too. Hoot by Carl Hassan. And I believe this one was for young adult. But it's middle grade, I think, but we're gonna count it anyway. So, this is a movie too, apparently. They don't have a synopsis here. So, well, I guess this is what it's supposed to be. Everybody loves Mother Paula's pancakes. Everybody, that is, except a colony of cute but endangered owls that live on the building site of the new restaurant. Can the awkward new kid and his feral friend prank the pancake people out of town? Or is the owl's fate cemented in pancake batter? That sounds kind of funny. And like I said, I don't really pick up middle grade books, but we'll see. I don't know. It could be cute. And I love pancakes, so we'll see. So I like that one. Alright, next one. Another little free library find. Never have I heard of this author before, but her name is Alice Hoffman, and I picked this one for the prompt fantasy. It sounds fantasy. It's called The Invisible Hour. One June day, when Mia Jacob can no longer see a way to survive, the power of words saves her. The Scarlet Letter was written almost 200 years earlier, but it seems to tell the story of Mia's mother, Ivy, and their life inside the community, an oppressive cult in western Massachusetts where contact with the outside world is forbidden. I love books about cults, okay? But this, I'm 100% sure, is not a Christian read. I did flip through it a little bit, and I didn't see anything stand out. But who knows? I am a little wary about this one because I just have a feeling it might be some content in here that I don't like and don't want to recommend. So we will see if I like this one, and I'm looking forward to letting you guys know. This next book, Boundaries. I actually did start this one already. This is for nonfiction. What I read of this so far is so good. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this. This is so good. Especially how to set boundaries as a Christian. So good. So helpful. Yeah, I want to finish this one. And I really want to do that this year. So. Alright, next book. Have had this book on my shelf for forever. Okay, I don't remember what I picked this, what the, I don't know. I don't remember what the prompt was that I picked this one for. It was called Serenity Bay by Betty Nordberg, and this is a Christian book. Life on the quaint little island of Serenity Bay in Puget Sound is peaceful and quiet. So many places near water. I don't understand. It's a trend. To all appearances, Patricia Kohler has everything she could ever want, her husband and 2 young children. But Patricia harbors a terrible secret she can share with no one. She has a battered wife whose children are in danger too. Then she meets Susan, a Christian woman with a heart even larger than her love of life and laughter, and their friendship literally becomes Patricia's lifeline. I think that might have picked this for the prompt women's fiction, possibly. I don't remember. Excuse me. I am looking forward to this. I do like stories about domestic abuse if they're handled well, and I am looking forward to this one. I've had it on my shelf for so long. It's time I read it. So we'll see what I think of this one. Only 2 more left. Alright. I don't remember what I picked this one for. Maybe I had romance for this one. This is called The Pelican Bride by Beth White. This is a Christian book. It's published by Revell. In 1704, when French woman Genevieve Galine and her sister board the frigate Pelican bound for the distant Louisiana colony. Ships again. What in the world? Both had promised to marry one of the rough men toiling in this strange new world in order to escape suffering in the old. This sounds like Marco the King by Jocelyn Green, and I love that book. So this is making me excited for this. Genevieve knows life won't be easy, but at least here she can establish a home and family without fear of persecution for her outlawed religious beliefs. When she falls in love with Tristan Lanier, an expatriate cartographer turned farmer whose checkered past is shrouded in mystery, Genevieve realizes that even in this land of liberty, one is not guaranteed peace. Trouble is brewing outside the fort between the French colonists and the native people surrounding them, and an even more sinister enemy may lurk within. Could the secret Genevieve harbors mean the undoing of the colony itself? I'm really looking forward to this one, and this cover is beautiful. So only one more book left. This one was for a memoir, to read a memoir. My aunt gave me this book so long ago. It's not even that big. Look how, like, it's barely big at all. I don't even remember how long. It's literally been years. So this is called Hand in Hand by Charlene Stoller, and it's about a farm. And I actually grew up on a farm, and it's about a farm accident. So this can be kind of scary because some of my siblings still work on this farm. So how do you overcome when tragedy strikes? We were young and strong. Our dream of owning our own farm was just at our fingertips when it happened. It wasn't in the plans. Accidents never are. They happen to other people. The day that started out ordinary ended up anything but ordinary. Our lives would never be the same again. And this family learns to trust God in the midst of terrible things. And I can always use a story like that. Life is hard sometimes, and I am looking forward to reading this book. So we will see. It looks heartbreaking, even though look how small it is. So I am really looking forward to this one. And it was the only memoir that I had on my shelf that I knew of. I was looking and looking and looking. I was like, oh, here we go. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me today. This is gonna be a really long video. I think my time is at 40 minutes almost, so I don't know what we'll get it down to, but let me know if you've read any of these books, if any of them sound interesting to you, and if you think I should take any of them off my list and replace them with something else. But yeah, thank you for spending time with me today, and I'm looking forward to getting to these books, and I'm looking forward to getting to these books and just loving reading. And I hope that you will join me as I read these books and review them. And this is only my second video that I filmed, and I'm having fun so far, so we'll see. Anyway, have a good day, guys. In the day and the night, both waking and sleeping, that presence my life.